Whilst you may be familiar with this A2 from my project, I also have this A2. It's not without its problems, and I've been working through those on the other guides. And one of those things is that the heaters never get cold. Now, the air conditioning isn't working, but I'd still expect cold air, but it always comes out warm. So I checked on diagnostics and found codes for the motors not working properly, meaning blocked or no voltage. So let's see if we can try and get some cold air again. So this is based on a right-hand drive car, so the position motor is on the passenger side, so we need to take the glove box out. So there's 3 screws holding the top edge of the glove box in, one of them behind this plastic like coin holder. And you see the other 2 are reasonably straightforward. There's then 2 on the lower edge, one of them near the center console, and then the other one is actually hidden behind the little plastic kick panel and the footwell. So I'm just going to get on and undo those screws, and then the glove box itself should just drop out quite easily. So while we're here, we're also going to swap out the cabin filter, which is just as well because it had half a forest in it. Glove box out of the way, we need to get this little sort of passenger footwell duct out of the way. There's only 1 screw for this, and then it should wiggle out of the way. And just about visible with the bright blue clips on it should be the position motor, so we're going to move those clips out of the way. As you see there, the wiring is tucked into the motor, so we've moved that, and then there's 2 plastic clips, top and bottom, that actually grip the motor onto the, I guess it's the heater matrix box, or whatever you want to call it. So we just need to move those, kind of pinch them in, move them so that they disconnect. And it should be able to slide out the way, making sure the wiring doesn't snag. So with the motor out, I've plugged it back in, and I'm just going to test how it works. So as far as I believe this should work, the motor in this sort of position should turn anti-clockwise when cold is selected and clockwise when hot is selected. So if we position it this way, as if we're looking through the heater matrix like it's invisible and this is mounted, it should move towards the inside of the car, the cold air. The little white cock, I believe, is either for the windscreen demister or it's for one of the flaps, but it's not for temperature, so I'm not going to worry too much about that at this moment. What I'm actually doing here is I'm going to set the temperature to high first, and then we'll see the motor move all the way around clockwise to the right, and set it to low. So I'm going to test this a little bit more just to make sure I got my bearings on the position I ideally wanted this to be in. Following the workshop manual, there are some teeth that are like shallower than the others, and these are for specific position markings. So on the top one there's one, the bottom one is the second and third teeth in that are slightly lower. So this needs to align with the actual sort of motor cogs. There's a bit, as you can see, it's like stepped inwards. So as it describes, you need to try and line up the sort of in-stepped parts to the actual position on the flaps, and then reassemble from there. You see it's in position here. And when you first turn on, it does move around a little bit. I think it's like calibrating, find its position. So I get the feeling this was fitted badly before, and perhaps it wasn't aligned properly, so it was keeping the heat position quite far away from where it should be to get cold air, and then that's what was sending the signal to say it was blocked. So that's all back in place, and whilst I was here, I thought I'd change the cabin filter. This is a new one, it's a carbon activated filter. Sometimes you see people change these and they think the old one coming out a bit grey or black means that it's really, really old and dirty, but that isn't typically the case. It's just quite often people will change these for the like pure white ones, which are the actual cheaper ones. So you do expect it to be black in the middle because that's what the carbon filters look like. And the one I took off had a plastic shroud around it, but this newer one is just a better filter, I guess. It's all built into one, so we don't need the plastic part. That can go. And then this will just slide into place in the housing. And I'm making sure here that the arrow is pointing towards the centre of the car, and that's the airflow direction. Now, if you don't have the glove box disassembled, there is a little flap that you can slide out just to do the cabin filter on its own. So if you're not doing it straight away, don't worry. Otherwise, the little flap goes back on, and then there's a little clip that slides on underneath, and we're all back together. And lastly, I'm just going to put the little ducting back in place. Now ideally you'd have something like VCDS for the next part, where I'm just going to calibrate the position motor and make sure it's all fine with no more errors on it. And this will run through all of the sort of different ranges. It will operate all the flaps and the air positions, and it will turn the heating up and down and blow the motor and all the rest of it. And with that done, I just checked it myself and made sure it all worked. And I thought I'd use a little bit of plastic for this, just so you can sort of see that there is air coming out, rather than just relying on me to demonstrate that in some sort of mime fashion. Remember to drop a like if you like the video, and you can subscribe if you aren't already by clicking the subscribe button. You click the bell if you want to be notified when the next video is out. There's more videos available and link at the end of the video. Otherwise, I will see you in the next one.
We can leave it all behind. Just breathe and feel alive.